So next to the Hiddekium Stephen, I've got Cercis canadensis forest pansy, a hardy shrub. Beautiful foliage, as you can see. Just a nice contrast with all the other greenery, and it looks great with the Santolina lemon fizz behind it for contrast, which is completely hardy. And you can see it's getting flower buds on now, which will open to like white daisy flowers, although I actually prefer it without, really, just for this very lemony fizzy foliage. The bearded irises have been fantastic this year. This one's a deep blue one. I've lost the name for it, but they've just finished. They've been fantastic. And next to that I've got Stipa gigantea grass, or golden oats, and you can see in the breeze, absolutely beautiful plants. I think it's, the genus has changed now actually. I think it's something like Celtica or something, or Celtica. Do look it up. Okay, so last year this area was just like gravel last April, but then I've removed the gravel, removed an old concrete base from an old greenhouse from many years ago before I moved here, and I've planted it up with lots of exotics to give like a foliage effect. So I've got daylily or hemerocallis here just coming to flower bud, Colocasia gigantea, Mustia Wollastonii, red form from I think Madeira, if not the Canaries. Beautiful hardy Schefflera Taiwaniana, lovely gorgeous foliage, and you can see how much growth it's put on from for this year, just from the pinkish toned stem upwards. And you can see here I've got the mountain pawpaw, which is in flower, Vasconcelia pubescens, which I received as seed from Mike Clifford from Dorset, England. Looking really good. I've got two, and this is the smaller one. The taller one is over there, and I'm hoping that I'll get fruits off them when they cross-pollinate. Fingers crossed. Got a Enseti ventricosa there, which I grew from seed last year. Sowed it on the 1st of March, and that's how big it looks on the 15th of June the following year. Colocasia esculenta, Iris confusa, gives like a bamboo effect. I think this is a cultivar called Martin Ricks with blue flowers. Hibiscus coccineum with red flowers. It's a swamp hibiscus from the US. And it's giving a bit of a, I don't know what's going on with the foliage there. It looks like it's the autumn or the fall. Maybe it's got a bit of transplant shock. I've been watering it well, so but it's still looking okay. And some begonias here coming up, and another hibiscus mostuatus, which should get quite big with dinner plate sized flowers. Hardy sunflower here, Helianthus salicifolia, so leaves like a willow. Beautiful, much underrated, underused plant. Gorgeous, very exotic, jungly, pendant foliage, absolutely beautiful. It sort of sways, as you can imagine, when it gets taller. Cordyline burgundy spire, that would be stunning when it gets bigger. Quite hardy in the UK most winters, so I'm hoping it will get tall, it will form a trunk. This plant here is Ruellia Brittonii. Now, I found it very shy flowering, the Mexican petunia. I've put it in full sun this year, and I'm giving lots of moisture, so I'm hoping these buds will actually open. But I've found in previous summers the buds haven't actually opened, and they've just aborted, which is a bit annoying. So if it doesn't flower for me this year, I might have to wave goodbye to it and then use the space for something else instead. I've got another Hiddekium there. I think it's Forestii, I think, off the top of my head. And Regersia esculifolia, which is great. completely hardy. Next to that I've got a Xanthodecia white egret, that again is hardy. And I've got there Impatiens tinctoria, which will have white nocturnal scented flowers that survive the winter outside. Next to that is Fatsia polycarpa. Obviously japonica has been grown for many years around the world, but this is relatively new to the UK over the past few years. And then next to that is the famous T-Rex, Tetrapanax papyrifera rex, and it's going absolutely mad this year. After sulking a bit last year, planting it, it's really going for it this year. Next to that I've got one of the tree dahlias, Dahlia imperialis, which can get up to 10-12 feet tall in a good year, but often doesn't flower till November, so you need a warm autumn for it to flower. And then next to that, a bit hidden, is the Dahlia campanulata, which is also a tree dahlia. Look at the foliage on that, absolutely fantastic. And I actually prefer the flowers on this one over imperialis, so I'm hoping that this will flower really well for me in late summer, autumn. And this will be smothered in white flowers tinged bright pink, so I'm really looking forward to that quite. But look how jungly that looks already. Got another cordyline here. This is Tall Bay Dazzler, after the famous seaside town in Devon, southern England, in the English Riviera. And I've got some zebra grass there. It's looking really cool, getting that zebra-y striped foliage. Got a hardy fern there, which looks like, gives a tropical effect like a Nephrolepis, but it's actually Polysticum moonatum. Looks quite good in those sort of wicker style baskets. Cordyline red star, it's getting quite big now. Got an Amphourium, Fuchsia biliviensis, which have long red tubular flowers. It's had one spike and it's going into fruit now. But lots of tomato feed, high in potash. I'm hoping it will flower more. Got the classic Begonia luxurians. It can easily get to 2 metres tall, and it's approaching that now. It's about 1.5 metres tall, or 5 feet in height at the moment. I've got a Miscanthus floriculus behind that. Fatsia japonica, Farfugium, really great plants for brightening a shady place. Begonia little brother Montgomery, Begonia Masoniana, or the iron cross begonia, and a pilea there. A Begonia rex cultivar, another begonia, fantastic jungly foliage. Just have a look at the label again, to size Moriae, fantastic leaves there, and they've got long hairs on the leaf too, stunning. Red undersides, beautiful thing. I've just got a gorgeous podophyllum here. Wow, look at the foliage on that, stunning, like an umbrella, isn't it, a parasol. And you can see the mottlings start to come through now, it's getting a little bit more light. And this one is, if you look at the label, versipelli, so podophyllum versipelli. Got some carnivorous plants, Sarracenias from North America, and you can see the flowers on those now. And these are completely hardy for me. They survive right here outside all winter long. Very hardy. They can go down to -20. Some of them even more than that. And I'll just give them a trim in April, and then they reward you with all these fantastic new pictures and the glorious flowers too. So I've got Podophyllum spotty dotty, Begonia rex, I think this one's called Inca Flame. Wow, fantastic foliage, isn't it? Dracaena there, which have got a bit of sun scorch, but again I'm not too fussed. The new foliage is coming through and I can cut the old foliage off in time. Another Dracaena here, and I've got bromeliad Bilbergia Newtons in a basket, and I find that's completely hardy for me. It's been outside for 5 years and it has very slender tubular flowers. Got a platycerium or staghorn fern grown on a bit of a piece of bark, and then I just hang it outside on a fence or like this show on the shed for a bit of novelty. Another bromeliad, you can see it's going to come into flower soon. It's Bilbergia crosswindii. One of the parents for it is the Bilbergia Newtons, which I just showed you in that hanging basket. But obviously this one's got much more hybrid vigour, much bigger, and it is pretty tough. It's almost hardy in the UK, but not quite. And yet another bromeliad. It's one of the it's called the urn plant, Echmea fasciata, and it has bright pink, almost protea flowers. Eventually, Eucomis or pineapple lily, and you can see that the flowers are just developing inside, and you can see them mottling on the leaves. And there you go, you can see underneath, beautiful thing. Got some Hacanacloa grass here, gorgeous. It's lovely in the breeze, you can hear that rustle. And yeah, it's one of my favourite grasses. Next to that is a pittosporum from New Zealand. This one's not Tom Thumb, it's counterpart dwarf, I think, something like that, which is much better. And you can see the new leaves are green, but then they gradually change to black, so there'll be this lovely black for the rest of the year, including the winter. Next to that is a sumac or Russ typhina tiger eyes. This has orange and yellow foliage when it first comes out, and it gradually turns to green for the rest of the summer. And of course you get that glorious autumn colour or fall colour in October, and it looks like a bonfire really when it does that. And you know, completely hardy tree from North America, and it gives that lovely tropical foliage. So if I just pan out and just show you what the bottom end of this garden looks like, give you a bit of an impression. There we go. And if I sort of walk backwards, so you can see the overall effect. So I'm hoping we're going to get lots of rain, but also lots of sun, lots of heat this summer, and everything's going to go for it. But it's already looking quite good now, and I'll do a shot later on this evening in the dark when the garden's lit up. So see you again soon. Okay, so it's 10:15 PM. It's finally got dark enough now for the solar lights to come on. You can see the tiki torches that I mentioned earlier on. You can see the fantastic flame-like effect. So the lights have come on with the shed at the bottom. But the great show really is the tiki bar. Happy summer, everyone.